And welcome to the Marcus and Mike show, where we don't lift weights because we can't lift our arms over our head for the next two days. And
And
guys,
I'm
welcome Marcus to the show here, guys.
uh,
Marcus, how's your day going so far?
man, I'm struggling. Yeah, I lifted weights a couple of days ago, and like I could barely lift my arms over my head, man. I couldn't even get the soap my body very well. Like I had to struggle with the soap because my arms hurt so bad, man. I man, the struggle is real right there, man. Damn.
You better not get too swole here because you may not fit on the camera, so you better just tone it
Yeah.
down a little bit. But
Yeah.
speaking of toning it down, uh, Neymar, a famous soccer
Right.
player from Brazil,
Yeah.
he was accused of rape a couple years ago. All charges have been dropped. Supposedly, the girl filed a false police report and also accused 12 other people of rape in that same time frame. We've heard this before, time in and time again. What are your thoughts on this?
Man, I really don't like putting women in jail unless they're like did something egregious, and this is one of those cases that it is egregious. She should be in jail for a couple years, not for like 50 years or anything like that. Even though, man, accusing somebody of rape, I know there's some people out there that'll say you should get just as much as time as for an actual rape. I don't totally agree with that, but this lady, whatever her name is, and I don't know, we haven't even got her name. Her
Uh-oh.
name needs to be put out there in the public so everybody can ridicule her like they did Neymar. Um, yeah, when you make a false report like that, that's pretty bad, man. There's not almost nothing worse than somebody telling you that you raped them or you committed a crime against a child. That's to be honest. Um, I heard somebody tell me one time, "Oh, there's nothing worse than being accused of racist," and I said, "Yeah, that's pretty bad." But imagine being accused of hurting a child
Right.
or raping a woman. That's worse to me.
Hmm.
So yeah, so now Neymar, his name's in the mud for the past year or whatever. And this lady, whoever her name is, her name needs to be put out there.
So her
Uh,
name is Najilia Trinidale. She is a 27-year-old model.
okay, her model ass needs to be in jail and talking to some of the girls that like to touch models.
Samantha
Yeah,
in
how about that?
there.
Big Samantha can touch her. Yeah, I'm not joking, man. Like I normally don't want to see that toward ill will towards women like that, but man, yeah, no, this girl needs to be in jail for a couple of years.
Yeah.
How about a nice little 24 months there?
So I'm not worried about the jail time too much. I'm worried about how about all the money that he has lost because of this?
Yeah,
How about all the endorsement deals that he lost because of she accused him of that? You
right,
know, you really want women? I mean, like, yes, rape happens, and I get it,
right.
and some people are afraid to come out because of the of the shaming or whatever else
Right.
comes a part of it. But when they falsely accuse because like because her name went skyrocketing. She
Right.
probably accused him of rape falsely because she was
Right.
a struggling model, and she's like, if I do this, I'm going to get some money. My name's
Yeah.
going to get out there, and I'm going to get some more gigs. So
Right.
this guy deserves all the money that she made off of all the interviews, off of the publicity that like she got. Plus,
Yeah.
she owes him all the money that he lost. Like we talked about this before. The Baylor guy, his name always slips my mind. He was a
Sean
first,
Oakman.
yeah, he was a first round talent. This guy
Yeah.
had a 15 pack happening, and he got accused of rape, and like now he's playing in a semi league pro,
Right.
a semi pro football team down in Texas. Working at a
Right.
car wash, making $10 an hour. That
Yeah.
woman has come out and
Yeah.
said it was a false accusation. So
Right.
he lost millions upon millions of dollars because
And
of somebody falsely accusing her.
yeah, and not only do you hurt other men in this situation, but she's really the woman that accused Neymar, whatever her name is. What's her name again?
Najilia Tyndale, I think it was.
Najilia.
Yeah,
You are hurting other women out there that actually do get raped.
yeah,
'Cause then they're
that
not
are
believing.
afraid to come out because of this
Yeah.
backlash.
Yeah, so that's terrible, man. Well, I'm glad that he doesn't have to face anything. Now, I'm glad he didn't do it. I guess I wasn't I wasn't rooting against or for or against, but I'm just miffed at it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it just baffles me that this is this like if this were to happen, say I went out and I went to a party
Right.
and this girl got drunk and she accused me of like rape and they're going to take her word for it, but like it could have never have like happened, but yet my life is ruined, and like there is no rebounding from that at all. So like
Right.
a average Joe, like
Right.
it's just like it sucks. Luckily for him, he is a big enough name, a good enough
Right.
talent that he had money set aside. I'm assuming
Right.
he is financially well off. But if that were to happen to anybody else, Oakley guy from Baylor,
Yeah.
their lives are
Well,
ruined
and then
forever.
yeah, Sean Oakman. And Nick, I'll give you a little bit of story. Back in 1996, our Dallas Cowboys, Michael Irvin and Eric Williams,
Yeah.
got accused of rape, and then they were eventually acquitted. And Michael Irvin said after that he's taping every sexual encounter. So he did. He
Right.
set up cameras in his room, in his bedroom. I don't blame him, because now, you know what? I mean, that covers his ass. So now if a lady goes, "Oh, Michael Irvin raped me," he can wake up like, "Oh, really? Yeah, I got the DVD, man. Here's," and he can give the DVD
Right.
of the actual sexual encounter to his lawyer. His lawyer can show it to the prosecutor or the district attorney, and then the charges will just be like dropped.
Right.
So you know what? I mean, if you're that famous,
yeah, but still, if that were to happen, your name still gets brought up. So
yes.
you Google search his name, it's going to come up rape. Like the very first search will be
Right.
rape. So
Right.
even if he has it on tape, if somebody
Yeah.
accuses him like rape, it's going to be mainstream news for like a month or two. People are going to
But
talk about it, and it's always going to be on the internet.
But tape is powerful. I mean, at first I was like, he's gonna tape. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Right.
I mean, because man, I guess I would be gun shy too after that. I probably would tape all my sexual encounters if I'm famous.
Right.
But the tape's pretty powerful, Mike. I understand your name get thrown in the mud, but if they come out and say, "Hey, there's video and there's no rape," that's pretty powerful.
Yeah,
Because
but
the video is powerful. You know what I mean?
But let's say that happened to like me and like I go apply for like for like a new job and somebody Googles my name. That first thing that's going to come up is like rape. And,
us regular guys, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
even if it's on tape or not, it's still going to be on the internet. Michael Buckheiser raped some.
Right.
It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's go on and move past that. I'm glad Neymar name has been cleaned. I did read the article. They said they're going to revisit this incident in 15 days to see if stories start to change or like anything like that. So
yeah, she needs at least 2 years in the penitentiary.
Yeah, she needs to be punished
Maybe
for
more.
her crimes.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of being punished, I was about punished earlier today. Tryeek Hill gets carted off the field with an apparent leg injury. My inbox was going crazy. All of my friends up in St. Joe watching the Chiefs camp said it looked like he just fell down with and like my first thought was torn ACL or like Achilles. Yeah. Luckily, it was just a bruised quad, and they said he should be fine. My question to you, Marcus, is Tryeek Hill the one player the Kansas City Chiefs cannot lose besides Patrick Mahomes?
Well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is number one. Yeah, I mean, Tryeek Hill is the key to the Super Bowl, if you want to get technical. I think without Tryeek Hill, I think Patrick Mahomes is good enough, and Sammy Watkins and your new toy over there, McCole Hardman, second-round pick out of Georgia. I think that Mahomes is good enough to still go 11-5. But Tryeek Hill is that special talent, man, that takes you over the top, and it's just impossible to defend. So, yeah, I mean, to win the Super Bowl, to almost guarantee it, you can't afford to lose Tryeek Hill. So that was good news. It was just a bruised quad, and I'm sure a lot of the country they were applauding when they see him down on the cart coming to get him.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of silly too and a little childish too, because we don't know what happened, man, and those people that would be applauding don't know what happened either.
Right.
So
yeah.
Anyways, Gagatti's okay, and no, I don't think you can win a Super Bowl. I think you need Tryeek Hill, and I wouldn't have him play in any games. I'd have him go through all the practices, but I would not put him out there in a game situation in the preseason games.
Yeah, so the reason why I asked you that question is because we reported yesterday that A.J. Green is out for 2 months with apparent ankle injury. The Falcons have come out and said Julio Jones is not going to play any preseason games just because of like what happened to A.J. Green, like you alluded to earlier in the show.
Right.
So my question to you is, do we just need to do away with preseason games totally?
I think they're good for the players that are getting their last chance at trying to make a roster. Um, I think it should be 2 preseason games.
Okay.
Man, and I think people know this a little bit. People don't know how hard it is to make it to the NFL. There's about 30,000 college players.
Right.
And think about this. People like laugh at the 7th round pick, like the 240th pick, right? Think about this. If your son was the 240th pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they picked him out of 30,000 qualifiers, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you're happy as hell. You're going to be flying to Tampa Bay to watch your son, and you're going to be talking to, it won't be John Gruden. You'll be talking to the couple of coaches after John Gruden, and he's going to talk to you and be like, yeah, we picked your son in the 7th round because of this, this, this. This is all calculated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The 240th player selected in the NFL draft was the best in his high school and was probably the best or top 3 in his college, depending upon which college he went to. So the preseason is for guys that have been really good in college and they're trying to make an NFL roster. And some of those games, you know how many players the preseason game, that's the last time they're ever gonna, suit up, because what they do is they find out they're not good enough to make an NFL roster, and so there's arena leagues and the AFL starting. They might be good enough to do that, but some of them, that's their last. They go, you know what, I'm done. I got cut by the Detroit Lions. I'm not even gonna try anymore. I'm gonna go do what my degree says I'm supposed to do. So no, I think there should be 2 preseason games. And no starters really should play. You could probably play the quarterback, maybe 1 or 2 series in each game.
Right.
But that's, like I told you a couple last week, Dallas probably knows their 1 through 44. They know their 22 starters and they know their 22 backups. These preseason games really is to get a little bit sharp. And then the last preseason game, or even the third to last, it's for those 9 roster spots. And there's about 40, 50 guys clamoring for 9 roster spots. So I like the 2 preseason games for that, but we don't need 4, man. Do you agree with that, right? And sometimes
I cannot stand games 3 and 4. They're horrible.
Ready for this one? Sometimes the Cowboys in their heyday have played 5. Look that up. We played 5 that's insane.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I would do away with 2 of the preseason games. I wouldn't scrap it totally unless, like, the Texans are going to practice against the I think it's the Saints and the Packers.
Right.
They're going to do scrimmages with them. Unless they incorporate a lot more of that, then if they want to get rid of the preseason just totally. But there's a lot of practices, the joint practices that they're doing more and more now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just to add to your point there, I would totally cut out the preseason games totally, just because of the joint practices that are happening. Because if you go to if you go into camp and go into these joint practices knowing that there's going to be no preseason game, you are going to treat those scrimmages just more like a game. You are going to go a tad bit harder to make that roster spot. And I understand usually the preseason games are for the fans that can't make it to the regular season games, can't afford to go to the regular season games. Like the Kansas City Chiefs right now are basically giving away preseason tickets to their games. So it is fun to take the kids to a preseason game, yada, yada, yada. Like, I get that. But as far as the injury standpoint, a longevity of my career, if I'm playing in the NFL, I don't want to play any preseason games. I want to go into a joint practice or a scrimmage with a list of scripted 60-some plays, run those 60 plays, run those 60 plays on the other side of the ball, and call it a day. I don't want preseason games.
If I'm an up and coming player, or I'm struggling to make a roster or something, I'd like to play in a preseason game. But I just thought of this name just come to me. If I'm Byron Jones of the Cowboys, even Chidobe Awuzie on the other side of him, or any I don't want to play in any preseason games.
You're right.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I already know I'm going to start for the Cowboys. I'm doing joint practices and I'm practicing. Why the hell would I want to go out there and face Tyreek Hill in a preseason game? Here, I'm Byron Jones, and then me and him get caught up, and we both come down wrong. Fuck the hell with that. Yeah, you're right.
If if the NFL really is looking for that diamond in the rough in the
Yeah.
preseason, 9 times out of 10 they usually don't find that diamond in the rough.
Right.
If they're really looking for that, if they're really looking to build talent in those four games, have a minor league system. You should have put money into the AAF, had them be your minor league system, and
Right.
farm players up. They're
Right.
the only league that doesn't have a minor league system. NBA
I guess.
has a G League. Major
Right.
League
And
Baseball has AAA, AA, single A. Hockey has the Canadian League. So
maybe it should be the XFL. There's a lot of money in that, but what the NFL will tell you is their farm league is college football.
Right.
So if they want to go that route, that's fine. But
well, if you are going to use college system as your farming system, pay those guys what they're worth. Then.
Yeah. No. Give them a sniping. I agree, and that's why. And it can't be a farm system though. That's why they play until you cannot come out until after your junior year. Those guys are. Or you're a redshirt sophomore. You have to you have 3 graduating classes. You have to be
3 years removed from high school.
3 years, yes. So that's why that's their farm system. So those guys are really evaluated. You can evaluate these guys for 3 whole years. So yeah.
Yeah, you are exactly right on that. As far as I guess the college system being the farm system, but I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna throw you a question here. It's the same sports topic, but you ready for this one?
Ready.
The Chiefs are 15-2 to win the Super Bowl. 15-2, right? Man, would you have the balls to throw? Because it would be too scary for me. You have the balls to throw $100,000 in Vegas on the 15-2, which means if you break down the 15-2 odds, it's 7.5 to 1, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the 15. So if you put in $100,000 on the Chiefs to win the whole thing, you'll go collect your $100,000 back, and you'll get $750,000. So you get 7.5. Man, if can you imagine you celebrating the Chiefs win a Super Bowl, and then you say, honey, we got to fly to Vegas now to collect to get back our $100,000 and collect our $750K. How great of a day would that be?
That would be a magical day. I don't think I would do that because I could find other ways of spending $100,000. But if I had the money to blow, I would. Yeah. I would go with like a dark horse team. Like honestly, just like I would like to plateau over that $1 million mark. So go with the Raiders or somebody just like that.
No, but here's the thing: I need to win. So even if it's it's 15-2, right? I have a feeling that the Mahomes are going to be holding up the trophy. I really do. They're that good. So, man, even if you put 10,000 on the Chiefs, right? You get back 75,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's something to think about.
I would have to do that to be honest, just because they are my team.
Right.
They are that good, and even if Tryeek Hill isn't playing, say he gets injured, say that quad is more than what, say if that quad is actually like the KD injury, the calf injury, he'll be back in 10 days. I still think the Chiefs are pretty damn good. They're the best team in the AFC, even minus Tryeek Hill, because they have so much speed.
I'm worried about the quad injury to a certain extent. I hate hearing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I would tell Tryeek Hill, you just learn the playbook, dude. You are not playing. We'll see you week 1, whoever they play.
Yeah,
I will see you
Jacksonville Jaguars. So
I'll see you week 1 against Jalen Ramsey. See you later.
Yeah. So speaking of Jalen Ramsey, that just came to my head. He was ranked the 27th player in the NFL by the NFL Network.
Right.
He didn't even play last year. How can he be a top 100 player if he didn't even play last year?
Man, he's that good. I mean, he didn't play last year at all?
He got hurt really early, like second or third.
I was going to say, I thought I saw him last year. I swear he was guarding DeAndre Hopkins. Man, he's that good. To be honest, we can talk all about Charles, the players after Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Okay, the Champ Bailey's and Charles Woodson. he's in that mold, if not even better than them.
Okay.
I mean, think about that for a second. AJ Green's ready to fight him. I mean, you know what I mean? Because he covered him so well, to be honest. That's just the reality. I mean, he's that good. He's that guy. And so when the Cowboys had that draft and they took Ezekiel Elliott, they could have taken Ramsey. So, I mean, and I'm glad they took Elliott. I'm not that's fine. But so I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you that Ramsey is that dude. Like he's that special. And then he has AJ Bouye on the opposite side of him. Man, Jacksonville Jaguars are the real deal. They just needed a quarterback, and they found one. That's why, to me, the AFC South is the best division in football, easily. When the Tennessee Titans are the worst team in that division, and Tennessee is one of those teams where
you can never sleep on them.
No, hell no. I mean, yeah, if you at one point at any point in your preparation for Tennessee, say, we're playing the Titans, man. It's it's whatever. It's not like we're playing the Saints or you'll get your ass handed to you.
Yeah. And just to add to your point there, the Jacksonville defense, they took shots this past year saying that they were trash, they were overrated, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
The only reason why the Jacksonville defense didn't look as good as they did the previous year was because they didn't have as many takeaways. That defense was still a top 10 defense in the NFL last season, just didn't have as many takeaways, and it's hard to win ball games when your offense cannot score.
Right.
So when you're losing games 6-0, 9-0, I mean it's very, very
I mean,
tough.
and when you get those takeaways, that's a great thing to have. I mean, there have been average defenses that have been in the Super Bowl or been close to Super Bowl.
Yep.
And average defenses, but they had a lot of takeaways, and they have a really good offense. So the 2009 Saints come to mind. I think they had like an NFL record, like 40-something turnovers. And they were good defense. They weren't great, but they gave Drew Brees all those opportunities. When you keep handing the ball back to number 9 out of Purdue, Drew Brees, number 15 in your program, actually he was 15 in college. I'm dating myself. He wears number 9 now. So, yeah, when you keep handing the ball back to him with takeaways, you're going to go far in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that you brought up the Purdue because I remember my Kansas State Wildcats playing the Purdue Boilermakers in the Alamo Bowl in 2001 or 2002. I can't remember what year.
It was Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees torched the Wildcats up and down the court. Michael Bishop was our quarterback at the time.
Right.
They had that freaking train running through San Antonio, honking the horn. Oh man, it still gives me a nice night.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Brees was that guy. He ran Joe Tiller's offense there in Purdue. And the only reason that he was a second-round pick, do you know why?
Why's that?
Because he's 4 or 5 inches shorter than you.
Yep.
That's why. If he was your height, Drew Brees would have been a lottery select. He'd have been a high draft pick. But since he was 6 feet tall, closer to my height, that's why he goes in the second round. So I'm going to tell you right now, we've evolved a little bit. The GMs and the scouts. If there was a talent like Drew Brees right now, you saw Kyler Murray went right number 1.
Yep.
If Drew Brees had a clone and he was playing for Ohio State and he was that good in the ways he would be the number 1 pick.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, the only reason Drew Brees he went in the second round. He wasn't a first round pick because of his height. Everybody was all scared of it. Yeah. We're not scared of that anymore. It's not a factor.
Well, thanks to Drew Brees, we're not scared of that anymore. So
absolutely, he's part of that. Yep.
Yeah, we talked a little football. We talked a little bit of soccer. Talked a little rape allegations or whatever. Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to break down their schedule for today. They are a below average team, in my eyes, year in and year out. They're in a tough division, and it's hard to get over that hump when you're consistently battling the Saints and Carolina and even Tampa Bay, 6 times a year. So let's go ahead and break down their schedule real fast. Week 1, they're traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Who do you got winning that one?
No, I'll take the Vikings in that one. And it's real quick on Atlanta, man. I mean, dude, they're like a couple of plays away from winning the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I mean, all they had to do, Kyle Shanahan, all he had to do was run the football.
Right.
And he's a Super Bowl champion. and they had a good running back in Freeman, and all they had to do is run Freeman, and they're Super Bowl champs. So that's crazy. I would never be able to forgive them if I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan for that. But anyways, they're average now. That's what made me think like, damn, weren't they just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago? Now they're average. I'll go ahead and take Minnesota to win that game, week 1.
The reason why they're average is because they have a $100 million quarterback with no money to put around him.
Yeah, I still think they should make. Yeah, when the quarterback takes like 20% of your cap.
Yep.
I mean, I wish the NFL. I mean, these billionaire owners. When we talked about this a couple months ago, would take the quarterback and have him a separate salary cap, like have him and then have the other 52 players in one cap. I think that would be better for the NFL.
Yeah, I think you're right with that as well. Week 2, we've already picked as one. They have Philly at home. You have Atlanta beating Philly.
Yes.
I have them losing to Philly. So giving us a week 3 matchup when they travel to Indianapolis, Indiana to take on the Colts. Who do you got?
Man, we haven't done the Colts, right?
Nope.
Man. I'll give them a loss here. They're 1-2. They're not going into Indy and winning this game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the Colts are just too good. They're too deep, and they have to get every win they can. And this is a kind of one of those gimme wins that they have to get. So they're week 4. They're back at home taking on the Tennessee Titans that we just talked about. You cannot sleep on them. Who do you got?
Yeah, they're at home. They're in the dome. And go ahead and take Atlanta. They're going to do a win-loss thing here for me.
Yeah, I have them beating Tennessee as well, giving them the first win of the year. As we cannot sleep on Tennessee, they don't really travel very well on the road for some reason. Historically bad on the road. Speaking on the road, they are traveling to Houston week 5 to take on your Texans. Who do you got?
I'll probably be at this game. I'm going to take Houston. I'm keeping with the win-loss theme here.
Yeah, I'm going with Houston as like as well. Over these last couple weeks, you kind of made me a Houston fan. You're getting me excited like about their season, watching Hopkins and the quarterback, name slipped my mind.
Deshaun Watson. I'm going to tell you right now, just to keep it real with you, if there was no Deshaun Watson, I wouldn't be excited. You know what I mean? Like he think about that guy for a second. At every level of his career, he's always been a badass. Let's just keep it real. I mean, and he had a terrible offensive line, and he took him to 11-5. That was probably the most miracle thing that I've ever seen in pro football, to be honest. Yeah. He was. I watched every play. He was running for his life almost every play, and was still a badass.
Yeah, and
so imagine
they're just
going to get that much
better. Yeah, they're getting that much better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Houston is going to be the real deal this year. I think. Week 6, they're still on the road, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Who do you got?
Man, Arizona's secondary is absolutely horrific. I want to take Arizona at home here. You know, I guess I still will take Arizona at home, I guess. Yeah, because I don't think Atlanta's going to be anything great. But I wouldn't shock me at all if, Julio Jones and them boys, he got 200 yards. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I'll take Arizona, but very reluctantly.
Yeah, I'm taking Falcons in this game because of the statement that you just made. The Arizona secondary is trash, and Julio Jones wants to get 3,000 receiving yards this year. He could very easily get 300 or 400 yards in this game.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, he might.
Week 7, they're back at home taking on the LA Rams.
Man, I'll take Atlanta again. I think they upset the Rams. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I have them losing to the Rams. I have them starting out the season 1-6, and it's a bye week cannot come soon enough for them, like at this rate. So, giving us a week 8 matchup back at home, take on the Seattle Seahawks. Who do you got?
There's another cap situation. The Seattle Seahawks have 2 players that are taking up 30% of their cap. Russell Wilson and KJ. Is it KJ Wright? No, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
KJ Wright's a hell of a linebacker. He plays next to Bobby Wagner. But Bobby Wagner just, is one of the highest paid linebackers. And you know what I mean? So, they have 2 players taking up 30% of their cap. So that's going to affect their offensive line, defensive line. There's no more Legion of Boom. Mm-hmm. I like the Griffith brothers, but nah. I'm going to take Atlanta in this one. They're at home.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth on this game. I actually had to check what my Seahawks thing said because I have it highlighted in green and red. So I actually have them losing this game because I think Seattle's defense is just a little bit better than the Falcons' defense, and it's going to be an offensive of shootout, more or less.
Yeah.
So starting their season off 1-7, which is pretty horrendous if you're anybody but the Atlanta Falcons, I guess.
Wow.
Week 9 is their bye week, and then week 10 they're at New Orleans Saints. Who do you got?
Well, let's just keep it real here. I got them losing the next 2 games. So, yeah, at New Orleans, that's a loss. Even after the bye week, that's still a loss.
Yeah, I had them losing the next 2 games well. New Orleans is going to be 13-3 or 12-4.
Yeah.
They're going to be a great team. Cam Newton has something to prove this year. This is the 9th season in the league. He's only had 3 winning seasons. This might be his 4th one. So
you talking about Cam?
Yep, Cam Newton.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so jumping on to week 12, they're taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're at home, right? I think Tampa Bay schedule. I think I have Atlanta winning this one.
Okay, so I actually have Atlanta winning this one as well. The quarterback controversy in Tampa Bay has kind of got me scratching my head. So I don't think they're going to do very well, unfortunately. I feel like we just talked about this, the battle in the New Orleans Saints again, this time at home.
Yeah, there's one of your quirks in the schedule. The NFL, they have teams play each other 2 times in the month or 2 times in 3 weeks, which is really ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we haven't done. I'll go ahead and I think Atlanta gets this victory. I'll take Atlanta at home against Carolina. We can say what we want about Atlanta, Mike. I know you have them pretty bad, but I don't think they're going to challenge for the Super Bowl. But they still have great running back, and they still have a pretty good quarterback, and they have a great receiver. So
pump the brakes here. I might have them starting bad, but I might have them finishing good. So
yeah, I think I have them finishing bad. So that's why yeah.
So
okay.
So I went on a rant on this like 2 days ago that I hate when the NFL does its day schedule back-to-back games, basically. Right. And they've done this twice to the Atlanta Falcons. They play New Orleans twice in a month. They play Carolina and twice in a month, and they play Tampa Bay twice in a 5-week span. They have 17 weeks to put in 6 games. They can probably stretch those out like a tad bit. Yeah. But week 13, I had them beating the Saints, and then week 14, I had them carrying that momentum into week 14 and killing the Carolina Panthers, giving them even more momentum into week 15, traveling to San Francisco and thrashing the 49ers. In week 15, who do you got?
My boy Jimmy Garoppolo ain't gonna allow that, man. Hey, if Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's even playing by December 15th, I got the 49ers winning. I think the 49ers are going to be okay this year. So 49ers will win this game at home.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot, and I haven't broke down their schedule yet or looked at their schedule, but I've seen a couple people say they're going to go 11-5. Who knows? Give us a week 16 matchup versus the Jacksonville Jaguars at home.
I got Atlanta beating Jacksonville.
And I have Atlanta beating Jacksonville as well. I think Jacksonville is going to be one of those mediocre teams, and they need to get a mediocre win. So giving us a Week 17 matchup at Tampa Bay.
Did I pick that winner? I'm not sure. I think I should have. I think I picked Tampa Bay probably. We did that with the Tampa Bay schedule yesterday. I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't marked it down yet.
Yeah.
You have Tampa Bay winning that one. So let me go ahead and mark that in red for you.
What do I got? I wonder what I have Atlanta. I got them 8-8 or something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have them 9-7.
Wow, that's not that they're gonna. I don't think that gets them in the playoffs though. They're gonna be on the outside looking in on that one.
Yeah, I have them 7-9 actually.
Okay.
Ending the season on a 6-game stretch, so making a strong playoff push. So I mean, like if they can get 2 wins earlier in the season out of those 6 or 7 losses that I have, they're definitely a playoff-bound team. So with that being said, looking at a few games here, the first 3 games, I think they're pretty much set in stone on like my side. I don't see them beating Philly at all. The one game that I want to circle, or 2 games I want to circle, is a Rams at home in Week 7 and the Seahawks at home in Week 8. If they can win those 2 games, because you have them winning those. Yeah, you have those winning those 2 games. They'll be 9-7 on like my side of the game as well. And
And the thing of it is, I have them losing those games. So there you go. You just found the two games that are, if they lose those two games or even lose one, then that's 8-8, and you're not making the playoffs at all.
Right.
Or that's 7-9. So yeah.
So as the season progresses, yes, the November games and the December games, quote unquote, matter more, but these early season games matter too, guys. So this just proves the point here. So with that being said, Marcus, you had them going 9-7. I had them going 7-9. Any closing thoughts?
No, I still they had listen, what I'd hang my hat on with Atlanta, they just signed Grady Jarrett to a nice deal. He's a hell of a defensive tackle. He's not, he's not Aaron Donald. Nobody is, but Grady Jarrett's a pretty damn good football player. I like Vic Beasley, former Clemson Tiger there, coming off the edge. I think he number 44 in your Atlanta program. I think he's a hell of a player. And listen, I hang my hat on. They have a triplets there. They're not as good as Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Troy Aikman, but I like Devontae Freeman and Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. I think those three alone with a decent offensive line can be in shootouts. And who knows? That's one of those. That's what the NFL is about, man. I mean, it's an 8-8 league, so you're talking. Matt Ryan's going to be in those shootouts with Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
And was he going to win a couple of those close games, or is he going to lose a couple of those close games? And that decides whether you're 9-7 or 7-9 or 10-6 and 6-10.
Yeah.
Those close games.
This is how the Atlanta Falcons are going to make the playoffs this season. They don't have a problem getting Julio Jones when it's 80 yards to go, to the end zone, or 60 yards to go when they're in between the 20 and the 20. The problem is getting him in the end zone. That is how they're going to win a lot more games this season and possibly go 10-6. Is it to get Julio Jones the ball in the red zone? That's what they have to do. It's simple as that. He's like 6'6" and can jump 40+ inches. Give that man the ball.
And also, listen, I think they have good receivers too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. Like, I like Calvin Ridley. I gave him a second-round grade.
Right.
A lot of people gave him a first-round grade out of Alabama a couple years ago, but still a second-round grade is pretty good. And Mohamed Sanu, I gave him a second-round grade as well when he came out long time ago.
People are sleeping on him because he was with the Saints. Yeah, he was with the Saints and did really good things. So
yeah, he with the Bengals as well. But yeah, Mohamed Sanu, I've always liked him. So they have pretty good receivers there: Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, and Julio Jones. Yeah, I expect them to be challenging a little bit right there. And these games can go either way, and whether they win the close games, it'll determine whether they're 7-9 or 9-7.
Their biggest issue, honestly, is they're in the same division with the New Orleans Saints. They could win a division at 9-7 if the Saints weren't going to go 13-3. Same thing with the Denver Broncos. I broke down their schedule last week. I have them going 8-8. They are consistently 8-8, 9-7. If they were in any other division, they would be that battling for the division championship year in and year out. But when you have teams like the Saints and the Chiefs and whoever else, you have to win a lot of games, and it sucks for them, unfortunately.
And also this year they're playing the AFC South.
Yeah,
that's 4 hard games.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that. It would suck if I was an NFC team this year to have to play the AFC South.
Yeah.
And this year, the Atlanta Falcons and New Orleans, and they're going to have to play the AFC South. And that sucks.
It sucks for them, but it's also better for them because iron sharpens iron. So it just makes them better. So guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Tomorrow we're going to be breaking down the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees. Many people have them going 13-3, 14-2. We'll see what Marcus and myself has them going. Right. So, guys, join us tomorrow, same time, same place. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you tomorrow.